Hey YouTube, welcome back. How are ya? Oh boy, what a finale that was. Season 1 was so fun, finally in the books. We're doing a little wrap up today, and pretty much we can just roll through the things. I might sprinkle in a little extra, but first things first, make sure you are indeed subscribed. Then hit the little bell so you're notified whenever I upload here. If you're interested in full length reactions to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Marvel movies, I've been watching them as they fit in, along the way. You can find those on my Patreon. I, to be honest, don't know if I'll ever have time to edit the movies and get them up. So you can check those out there if you're interested. That's all linked down below, along with a link to my main channel, where I do hope to see you. And last but certainly not least, leave a comment down below. But please, no spoilers. Okay, I'll see you all in season 2. I cannot begin to express just how excited I am to talk about this season. Like, here we are. Here we are. End of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 1. This is the first show that I just sort of decided to start watching because, am I getting right into it? We didn't even fucking baby check. Girl, see what I mean? Like, I'm excited. Okay, wait, let's slow down. Let's take a deep breath. There are a bunch of new people here. So, first of all, hello. If this is your first season with me, welcome in. This is where I blab about the season for like an hour. I don't know. That's the best. That's all we do. We blab about the season for an hour. I talk about the things I liked, the things I didn't like, some character stuff, favorite episodes. Then we're gonna do a Q&A at the end. That's what this is. Nothing special, but I will try not to overtalk. But I can't promise, especially with this season. So you're just gonna have to buckle up, okay? Who knows where this is gonna go? I feel like I always start off quite structured. And then my ADHD takes over and I don't know, all of a sudden I'm at the end of the video and I'm like, what did I say? That's how it goes for me. So, okay, let's baby check. Okay, and back to what I was saying at the beginning when my brain started going crazy. I was thinking about this recap and I was like, this is the first show that I just added in. And it's just because of the fact that it was recommended to me by a bunch of you. And I didn't even do like a pilot says for it or anything. I just was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Like, I just trust you. And then as I started to kind of get more prepared for it, the movies talk started happening and like, okay, you should watch this movie and like, here's an order type thing. And then I got a little nervous because I was like, oh, this feels big. Marvel feels big. And I understand like, this is just a piece of it. So I got a little nervous. Then I dove in and like movie Saturdays, that was so fun leading up to this. So by the time I got to the pilot, I was like, okay, we're doing this. We're just adding in this show, I guess. And I have no regrets. That's where I was going with that. No regrets. Like, you all knew I would eat the show up. And when I tell you I ate the show up, like, okay, so here's what I have for like an outline, and will we stay to it? Who knows? But so we always just kind of start off with like overall thoughts, which are always very well thought out, not scattered. Then I've just got like plot chat, some character stuff, favorite episodes, predictions for season 2, and then we will end with the Q&A. And there is a lot of questions, which I'm so excited about. I just opened up the post. I'm like, oh shit, there's 15 questions. I was expecting like maybe 6. So I'm going to try not to blab too much about the season. But again, I can't say enough that I probably will. Okay, overall thoughts. My first point that I literally have is like, I really loved it. That's going to come as a surprise to precisely no one. Okay, but listen, I've seen the comments, okay? And I feel like I'm having flashbacks a little bit to Buffy. Not to compare, because I know that not everyone here is like a Buffy fan or anything, but when I started watching Buffy, everybody was like, you just have to get through season 1. Season 1 is like kind of sucks, but like if you can get past season 1, the show's really great. And then I loved season 1. I was like a little offended. Like, could you leave her alone? Miss season 1. She's just, but I'm getting the same kind of comments for this where it's like season 1 can be a little slow. Like season 1 isn't the greatest, but it like gets really great. And I'm like, leave season 1 alone. What do you mean? I love this season. Why don't people love this season? Because here's the thing. Not to go back to Buffy, but to go back to Buffy whenever I can. Like, I understand it. I understand the season 1 stuff around Buffy because season 1 of Buffy is like quite camp. It's a little cheesy. It's very like Monster of the Weeky. So I get it. That just so happens to kind of be my jam. Like I love that. But I don't get it for this. So can you help me? Can you help me understand why people don't like this? I have thought that maybe it is because I've gotten like I've chatted with you all throughout like the movies and stuff, and it seems that it's very different for me watching Marvel stuff like later on as opposed to like in real time, because some like promotions or lead ups were kind of built up a certain way. So I don't have any of that knowledge. So I wonder if maybe it's that. I thought that maybe it was like the Coulson being dead thing, but if that was like apparently not a reveal for all of you watching in real time. You knew that going in, which sucks, but I understand why they had to do it. And that's revealed in episode 1. So I don't know. I mean, not me getting worked up defending season 1. Like I fucking have seen this film before. But I mean, I liked it. I really liked it a lot. And like going episode for episode, like I was going through and I try and figure out my favorite episodes for later on, which we're not going to talk about right now. We're going to stay on track. And like some of them, I was like, okay, I can see why maybe people would think that some episodes were slower than others. But I never like ended an episode being like thinking that I was disinterested at all, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna repeat, leave season 1 alone. Okay, that is my girl. And I had so much fun. So if you didn't, maybe it's a you thing. Okay, thank you so much for listening to my defense of season 1. Okay, my next overall thought was I think that it like set up some really good like plot points. I feel like it did start very like almost episodic, almost Monster of the Weeky kind of. But personally, just reminding everyone, this is just my opinion. This is probably mostly incorrect, but this is just how I felt and thought throughout. Okay, please don't come for me. But I personally found the character development in those first few episodes to be what most intrigued me. Like I wasn't like, of course I was like, oh, we're going on a case. This is fun. But it wasn't about that for me. It was like, I think that the pilot did a good job of like setting up what our team needed to work on. And then the episodes following did a good job of like letting us see those characters get into those areas. That's what I was more interested in. So yeah, I didn't mind it. But like when I started going back and thinking of everything that happened this season, like we had Clairvoyant, we had Tahiti, aka Fiji. Okay, it's a wonderful place. Sky's parents stuff, Centipede, Ward Betrayal, Mike Peterson. It's loaded. It's a whole loaded pizza that I devoured. So yeah, I just think that, I lost all of my light because it's gonna rain. So anyway, I just think that all of those like built up plots throughout the season ended up coming together really nicely for a finale that we will talk about later. Okay, so I just had like, I'm just gonna expand on some of the like plot stuff. God, I keep going back and forth in my head whether I just want to talk about plots or I want to talk about characters first, because I feel like they're going to mesh in together. So we're just gonna have to, again, you're just gonna have to buckle up and let my mind just go where it wants to. Okay, so let's start with Michael Peterson. Mike Wazowski, our boy Gunn. Okay, first of all, seeing him in the pilot probably helped pull me in. I was like, oh my God. I just love him. But I literally wrote a love of my life. Okay, so it was very cool. I thought it was very cool to have like a non-main character become a favorite for me. Like, it happens, but I was so invested in him and his story. Every time he wasn't around, I was like, we can't forget about Mike, you know? Do not forget about Mike and his son. So I thought that was really well. I thought his whole thing was really well done. His whole arc, like it was, like I lost my note place. Where am I go? Yeah, this is what I wrote. Okay, watching him slowly get stuck into this life and not being able to like directly help him or save him throughout was gut wrenching. And when he got so far gone, like by finale, I was like, I like had hope. I was like, we can help him, right? But it felt like we couldn't. I didn't expect him to go that deep. After the bridge shit, I thought that like, the burns happened, and then I thought, I guess I just didn't think we'd lose him deeper. And we did. And so I think that was like so much better. Worse for him, but better for entertainment. I feel so sad that he didn't get like a real happy ending. I think he did in his own way though, like his son being back with his mom and being safe, and him not being able to be like Mike not being able to be controlled anymore is his version of a happy ending, I guess. It's just so like slightly unsatisfying, but I feel like it makes so much sense with how everything went. So it's like when he walked away at that finale, like my whole heart sank. But I instantly knew, I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, do you know what I mean? Oh, heart-wrenching shit like that, where it's like the best for you to just walk away. Stop it. Stop it. So yeah, I just thought, am I losing my voice? Like I've only been talking for like 10 minutes, so leave me alone, voice. Yeah, I really enjoyed Mike. I really enjoyed his arc, even though it was tragic. For him to be introduced in the pilot, he was the first like superhero-y guy that we met, I wonder if we're going to see him again. I really felt like that was the end in finale, but I guess we'll see. He was our first like introduction to Centipede, not Caterpillar, but Centipede. And wow, Centipede, where Centipede started, like where we met Centipede versus the Centipedes at the end, wild, but cool. What else we got? Oh yeah, the clairvoyant twist was very interesting. I feel like obviously it being Garrett was like not even in my wheelhouse of thoughts. Even further, having that be within the system, like within SHIELD, infiltrated, was not on my radar. I feel like I was expecting the clairvoyant to be someone we knew, like someone we had met throughout the season somewhere. Because for like a build-up like that, and then to have it revealed to just like some rando would have been weird, I think. So that was always in the back of my mind, but damn, Garrett, you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. Like and then even just having all of that kind of tying into Tahiti and this alien stuff. Like when I tell you so much happened, why do people not like this season? Could you just not follow along? It was a lot. But anyway, Tahiti. Is it Tahiti or is it Fiji? No, it's definitely Tahiti. Fuck me, man. It's a wonderful place. Tahiti was such a fun and interesting little intertwined plot because I never knew, I guess, how important it was going to be, but also like where they were going with it. It's a Wonderful Place right after was always so weird, and so seeing why that happened is of course very interesting. But to find out that like Coulson was like, we have to axe it, goodbye, no, we have to get rid of it, and then they like use it on him is such a, like, it's just wild. Like he really went, huh, like, and that's how I feel. about it. That's the exact word we should use. Like, I know we're going to talk about Coulson later, but gosh, watching him wrestle with that and, you know, the betrayal he felt from that and just all the emotions that go into that. Oh my God. Like, honestly, one of my favorite and most heart-wrenching character things throughout the season. We'll get there. What else we got? Oh yeah, finding out. Okay. Oh yeah. And then okay, Sky. See, everything's so connected, and you like it really does come together at the end very well. I said that already. But Sky, how Sky plays into this, like how we had to use it to save Sky, and Coulson's decision with that, and like how he didn't want to do it, and like that was. Whew. Then they plant the seed of the reason there was no side effects for Coulson was because they like rearranged his memories or remade memories or made, you know. And they didn't do that for Sky. And Sky, as far as we know at this current point in time, is not having side effects. And then they let us in on this Sky's parents being monsters. I'm going to say villains because I just like that word better, okay? But I'll probably use them interchangeably. See? All connected. I think that's good writing. Not me getting defensive again. I need to chill, you guys. I'm talking to people who maybe liked season 1, maybe didn't. I don't know. Okay, and then the last, like, just, I guess, little note I have in this section is, like, the final episode. We'll talk about it in my fave episodes because, spoiler alert, it's there. But I feel like it did a wonderful job of closing everything up and then leaving these little pieces of what's to come, right? We've like for setting up next season, we've got the Sky's parents thing and the girly in the flower dress thing. Voice, come on, we have more to do. We can't give out right now. The unknown of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra and like that kind of stuff. Coulson's promotion, Ward, like there's so much that's like left hanging. And I can't wait to get to predictions because have I been overthinking it? Yes. The answer is yes. This show consumes my mind. Yes. Okay. So, yeah. Let's talk about characters. Because, yes, I love when we blow shit up. I love when there's new fun gadgets. I love when there's science technology talk that makes zero sense with our current timeline, but it's fun and we can make gadgets and it's fun and I love it. All of it. But I still feel like the heart of the show is our people, our team. Okay. And so I'm going to spend some time talking about each one of them and why I love them. I don't really have a character that I dislike. There's no main pop girlies here that I'm like, eh. And I know what you're thinking. What about Ward? We'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, main character. Like, obviously, fuck Garrett, okay? That kind of stuff, but just for our main pop girlies, okay? I genuinely love them all. So we're going to talk about them because I just want to. Billy C. We're going to start with the main man. Billy C., heart and soul of the team. He's the best leader. I adore him. I think, like, first of all, he knew exactly what team to put together. Ward was right about that. But he also knows how to communicate with each member. And because that's what a good leader does. Everyone needs to be communicated to and like differently. And he does that with each of them. And I just love that about him. I love we got a lot more to go. Voice. He's charming. He's easygoing. And the way he just like builds everyone up to be what they need to be is so like I'm obsessed. I'm also obsessed with the actors. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. So I don't know if this is just a thing he does, although he is in an episode of The New Criminal Minds, but I haven't gotten there yet, but I will. But his facial expressions are very minimal. He's not a very expressive man. but I always feel like I get the most emotion from him. Does that make sense? Like, aside from maybe Gemma. But his facial expressions don't have to change very much, and he can just portray exactly how he's feeling so well. And I don't think I understand it. But I do love it. I also just want to note here that I think an underrated duo relationship within this team is him and Simmons. Every time they're together, I love it. I get very excited just to see them interact. I love them together. So they're like maybe my favorite duo. I don't know. I feel like Philly C really is like a father. He's our dad. And not just because he's like the oldest one of the group and the leader of the group, but because he okay, we can't forget what he went through this season. Okay? Dying, coming back to life, finding out these like betrayals within this system, you know, and watching him go from like a very by the book person to a very not like the very outside of the box person, watching him grapple with what it's like to die and not remember. He's doing all of this while running a team and not letting them know what he's going through. Obviously, May knew, and like, you know, and the team kind of picks up on it, but like he's just, it's such a like a parental thing to do, to like not let your kids know exactly what you're going through. And I'm gonna cry for him right now. No, I'm not. But yeah, I always think back to the pilot episode and when I thought he was dead, because like here I am watching these movies and I can still remember first meeting him and when I finally realized that this long ass name he's been saying stands for SHIELD. And like I got so excited and my brain instantly went, oh, that's our guy. That's our guy. That's our guy. That's so smart. That's so smart of them to like introduce us to this person and then get us to know him and to like him and then to start a show with him. That's so fucking smart. And then he died. And I remember all the thoughts of going through like, well, now what? I'm kind of pissed about it because I wanted him to be there. He was there. Spoiler alert. But just like how attached I already was to him before I even started this show is wild. And then I just, every time, whatever he's feeling, I'm feeling. He's just the best. He's director now. He's director. He fucking deserves that so much. I can't wait to see how this goes. Like, anyway, I really love Philly C. I know that there is a lot of other character development that happens throughout the season. Sky is a big one. Obviously, Ward is a big one. But like, I don't want to forget about Philly C in his season because I think he had one of the most interesting, especially like internally and his struggles. That was just wild to go through. So I love him. Okay. Want to know who we're going to talk about next? May. Oh my God, guess what? I love her too. Obviously, May was a fave of mine right off the hop. Like, I am sorry, the sunglasses, the driving of the plane, she's so kick-ass. Just her outfits, like I love her so much. I can't even. Finding out she was married and that it wasn't to me was probably the lowest point of my life. No, but we know the type, right? We know the trope. We know the kind of hard on the outside, but slowly kind of we see the softer inside of a person. I don't care that it's been done before. May's the best one. No, but slowly but surely kind of getting to know her backstory, watching her get back into the field, and then just seeing her like her loyalty to Coulson. Mom and dad. They're mom and dad. And I thought, oh yeah, I wrote the rumors about her were so funny. That was funny. I like how the show just kind of slowly gives us these little like the rumors thing, it was so funny and how it got totally out of like blown out of proportion in that one episode. Remember that? And then we learned, the truth about her. Yeah, I think it just hits so much harder when then you see her like protecting the team and like how much the team actually genuinely means to her because she's not so outwardly open and emotional. And so I don't necessarily think that her development over the season was like the biggest that we saw, and maybe was like the most predictable, aside from that small little point of her working with Fury to oversee Coulson. Like that I did not see coming. But yeah, so maybe her development wasn't like the most surprising, right? Like we kind of saw the journey coming. But I still loved it. And yeah, she's so badass. I'm like going through like in my head, just like her fights. The finale, I can't stop thinking about the finale, but how fucking awesome was that when she's just like, when Skye and Grant were talking and then May comes in to kick his ass. Oh, yes, please. I love her. I'm obsessed with her. She is S tier. And I can't wait to see like where she goes from here. I think actually, you know what? Maybe I'll take a little bit of that back. I think the end of the season for May was like a pretty big, I guess not development, but like seeing her walk out, like after her and Philly C have that falling out, and then like going to with Maria, remember that whole thing? Like only for her to like come back and protect the team. Like that was pretty awesome. I think her and Philly C are gonna be just fine. Like I do really appreciate that. I think like right at the beginning we instantly saw how close they were. So for them two to have that falling out was like pretty cool. Like horrible, of course, but like story wise was really good because it's like you're just constantly cheering for them to get back, like to make up, and I think they will. But like breaking a trust like that is a big deal, and it was a big deal. And so I don't know, I just think that was really well done, but I think they'll be fine. And they kind of run the team together, even though Philly C is like the boss. The rest of the team like highly respects May, as they should. And so she's kind of like the second leader. And I love her. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we're gonna do Simmons next. And then Fitz. And like I did note here, it's like it's not hard to talk about them separately, but they are a duo. They were like, I guess, kind of like the first established duo. So my only point about them together is like, I was worried. I feel like I did say this in the beginning, but I was worried that the two sciencey ones were going to just kind of become just this comedic relief, almost like this like light comedic relief, not really any in-depth character development. And that didn't happen. I mean, they are a comedic relief in a lot of ways, but no, they had their moments, and I am so thankful. I'm so happy about that, because I was like, you could tell right off the bat that like they're interesting, and I'm like, give them their time to shine. Don't just like let them be the sciencey ones that are in the back, and then when we need the gadgets, we go to them or whatever. No, that did not happen at all. So like I was like, fuck yeah. So Simmons, Miss Simmons, girl, I love her so much. She's so genuine. Like I just love her little face. And I really feel like she's like the empath of the team. And she just cares so deeply about people. It's tough to say heart of the team because I do still kind of feel like that's Coulson, but like she's the second heart. Maybe because I really like her and Philly C together. I love how she has these little things of like not being able to act. You know, like just like these weird little character quirks that are so cute, and how they come into play and stuff. But I also love how like undeniably brave she is. And oh, now I'm gonna cry. I should have fucking known that if I was gonna cry talking about a character, it's probably gonna be Simmons. Um, but yeah, I think she's like, I think she puts everybody else first, and she's so brave and wonderful. Like she's smart and she's selfless. Like remember when she got infected with a fucking alien virus and she toppled out of the plane. I don't mean to laugh about that, but that is a little bit funny if we can take out the emotional aspect of it. She didn't even jump. She just flopped out. Not funny. And then at the end, like watching her pull Fitz out, I'm obsessed. I'm so happy. Like I'm so happy that she wasn't just the science girl. She's incredible. And she was given her moments throughout the season and I ate them the fuck up. I love her to bits. She's so cool. She's cool like May's cool, but like in a different way, you know? Because she's softy on the outside. May's not. And I love them both. Okay, and then moving on to Fitz. Okay, my first bullet. When I make these outlines, they're so dumb. Like literally my first point under Fitz is, okay, like so funny, love of my life. That's so that's such an in-depth thought. I think Fitz is like one of my favorite characters because he is the comedic relief, but it's not in a throwaway way. He's so funny. And if you've been here for any amount of time, you know that I like funny. I like to laugh. And I laugh a lot with Fitz. But again, just to kind of reiterate, I was like, is he just going to be the comedic relief? And then we saw, you know, him falling for Simmons. And I was like, okay, like I'm actually not mad at that at all. Like I ship it actually. I think they're adorable. But character-wise, I was hoping that it wasn't just like, oh, he's funny and he loves Simmons. So at the end, like near the end, when we saw how betrayed he was for Ward and just how much he cared about like his friendship with him, I was like, thank God they gave us that. Like he has something else to him than just being like the funny sciencey guy who's in love with the sciencey girl, you know? And he did that so well, like the actor dude. And I feel like I felt the same way as him. Like, so I was glad to see a character going through that the same way that I was going through it. Like the betrayal was so fucking real and the denial was so real. And then when you see Ward again, you want to be like, dude, no. And literally then I saw Fitz go, dude, no, we're friends. What do you mean? Like, I can't even tell you how fucking seen I felt with that moment. So I'm like so glad. It made me kind of also just sit back and be like, all of the team cares about each other. Don't get me wrong. Like I think everyone cares about one another, but like I guess maybe with Fitz, I personally didn't realize just how much he held these friendships close to him until then. And it was like nice to have that, you know? I also very much like that he's in love with Simmons, and I wonder if they're gonna be together. It feels so natural, doesn't it? Like sometimes you want like the opposites to kind of get together in shows. You're like, oh, there's something about these two. I'm just like, no, you're so much alike, and like you do feel like the perfect duo. So I don't know, I kind of ship it. Because like if I can't ship Fitz with me, then definitely Simmons. She's fucking better anyway. Yeah. No, I'm going to save that for predictions. I have a few predictions about his character for next season, so we'll get there. But I really enjoyed Fitz. I, like, right from the beginning, I was like, yeah, he makes me laugh. So, therefore, I adore him. It doesn't take much. I've always said this, like, if you've been here before, like, make me laugh or blow something up or kick down a door. All right, let's talk about Skye. Skye. Okay. I get excited because I'm like, Sky was like the outcast of the outcasts, right? Like, so watching her kind of come into the team was really cool. I think she still feels like the baby of the crew, like the youngest. She's got like youngest sibling vibes. But what I love about that is they gave her this parents plot, this adoption and, needing this, I guess, kind of like looking for a place to belong. And which led her to Shield. Her past story being intertwined, I think, was so important because, like, we can't just have like spy girl becomes spy on other side type shit. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be as interesting as having just that lingering parent thing. And now knowing where it went, and like, okay, what am I trying to say here? Also, wait. I also just want to say, I did think that the parents thing was going to be bigger, but once I got to the end of the season, I was like, that was kind of perfectly intertwined, in my opinion. Like, it didn't overtake any other plot points, but it fit in where it needed to fit in. And we saw Sky's just like how it makes her personally, how it affects her personally and her personality and her trust with others. Like, I think it really was well done where it was just kind of sprinkled in enough. And then we end with the reveal. So I'm like, okay, because there was times I feel like I said throughout the season, like the parent stuff would be brought up. I'm like, fuck, I forgot about that. And at the time I was like, they should talk about that more. But now that I'm at the finish line of season 1 anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm glad they didn't talk about it more. It was just enough. I hope that makes sense. Like, it just didn't overtake anything, but it was important. Why do people hate season 1? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so seeing her grow has been, like I mentioned, Coulson's kind of character growth throughout the season, or like his little arc. And I think then my next favorite would probably be Sky's, which I think is probably the one that is like the most obvious. I guess aside from Ward. But anyway, just seeing her grow, seeing her slowly but surely kind of let the team in was really sweet. And then it being Ward to fucking the betrayal and just seeing Sky kind of being the sole one to like be there with him. Like, she was the one with the fancy USB stick. She was the one like doing all the cryptic stuff and doing the Trojan horse thing, and like she became so important. She always was so important, but like she played such a huge part in the end. And I can't express enough how that conversation with her and Ward in the booth where she met Mike is one of my favorite things to happen all season. Also, just her relationship with Mike. Like, she never forgot about Mike. Like, she's so fucking great. I love everyone, I guess. But I really do. I don't think I have a character that I'm like, that I wouldn't fucking die for. Okay. Let's talk about Grant. I feel like I need to preface all of this by saying, I think having Ward be Hydra and the way it all went down, the way it happened, was fucking amazing. Like, amazing, even though it ripped my heart out. It was so amazing. Okay, so keep that in mind. Writing wise, I'm obsessed. So let's just talk about Ward. Where the fuck do I start with W? Okay, meeting him, Mr. Lone Wolf, right? Meeting him, I was like, yeah, I know the journey. You can see the journey. It's a trope that's been done a million times before. Lone Wolf becomes team player. So we knew the journey we were going down. But there was something about him that got my ears to stick up a little bit. And I'm going to be so honest, I still don't think I know what it is. I am currently editing season 1 for YouTube. And I've been watching so closely because I'm like, what was it? Just something. It must have been so subtle and slight that where I was like, I feel like he's going to like become team player, but then not. Like he's going to somehow kind of go against us. And then he kicked down a door. And I was just in the palm of his hands. I mean, he also jumped out of a plane and there was like this whole thing. But like, I think, because then I can almost remember the exact moment it was when he kicked down the door. Who am I trying to kid? That was the episode where I was like, okay, I think he really just is one of us. That's when I let my guard down. See how easy it is to get me to like you? It's very easy stuff. No, but I was like I remember thinking, actually, I feel like when he jumped out of the plane, I feel like that was the moment where I remember thinking, this is the moment where I'm supposed to think he's full on team guy. And that probably was it for most. I just have this thing about like combat boots and kicking down a door. So yeah, I let my guard down. And I remember thinking, there's no way that they're going to go through, like they, meaning the writers, are going to go through all of these instances of showing us that he is for us, for him to not be. I'm re-feeling all of the fucking betrayal. That's what's happening right now. So like, I usually see these things coming. And I guess I did with him for a little bit, but then I let it go. I literally let it go. So I felt it so much harder. Anyway, how amazing was that though? How fun was that? How good was that? And Hydra? Still but like, yeah, what a fucking arc for that man. Hey? And like, I guess I won't go into it too much here, but there's predictions for next season with this man. But yeah. Okay, so what do but I did really grow to like him. Like he's like kind of like May too, where he's a little rough around the edges, and then slowly learning about like his childhood and stuff. I was like, there's just no way they're sucking me in, man. But even at the end, with he's supposed to take out Fitzsimmons, and instead he just pushes them into the middle of the ocean. Like it's his weakness, and we did know that about him, but it just like, I just think that this whole season of W has been wild. Literally, W for wild. W for what the fuck. But yeah, okay, aside from the betrayal, I really like how we saw Ward just slowly intertwining with the team, slowly kind of letting go of his roughness. Like, remember the 2 seconds thing with the gun or whatever it was, or whatever. I can't even remember how many seconds it was now. And like them like kind of mocking him and making fun of him, and then how he just kind of plays into that. Like just that kind of stuff, slowly but surely. And just showing how much he like cares for the team, even though he's not outwardly sentimental by any means. It like makes you root for him so much more, right? That's the point. We're rooting for him to like be intertwined into this team, and then I can't with this man. Okay. I am blabbing too much. But I can't help it. I like this show a lot. Okay, we're gonna just roll through the fave eps, and when I tell you I had a lot on there, and I feel like, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but like there was like back-to-back episodes sometimes where I was like, oh yeah, that whole thing was like really cool. But I tried to narrow it down. But like sometimes I feel like episodes go together. Like I was thinking about the bridge, because I was like, oh, the magical place. That's one I want to put in there. Because that was like just like a wild reveal of everything. But then I was like, but then the bridge was before that. Remember the bridge and the explosion and the whole thing? And also, while we're just on episodes, this isn't a favorite episode thing, but I was like going through all the episodes and I was like, because I don't look at episode titles before I watch because I don't want it to spoil anything. Sometimes they're very spoilery, the titles of the episodes, and I don't like spoilers. I want to go in completely unaware of my surroundings. So a lot of the times, all of the time, I don't see the episode title till after. And a lot of the times I don't put things together until I look at it as a whole, because season 1, episode 16 was end of the beginning, which then goes to 22, which was beginning of the end. I love how I just say that like it was a reveal, like you guys wouldn't have known that, but I didn't. Anyway, okay. I am going to put the pilot in there. I took it out. I'm putting it back in because I liked the pilot a lot. I feel like it set up a lot. We were blowing shit up. Gunn was there. We got Skye. I feel like I got to know just the world a little bit. Coulson wasn't dead. A lot happened where I feel like I have to put the pilot in here. I took it out because I was like, I just don't think it's as strong as the others. And see what I mean when I said there was a lot of favorite episodes. I took it out and putting it back in. And then I think a pretty obvious one, I think a fan fave is episode 6. Is it fizzed? Does that stand for something? It has to, because I feel like there's periods after each letter. Maybe there's not. I don't know. The one where Miss Simmons gets infected with the alien thing, virus. I remember that being like obviously just a wild episode for a lot of characters. Her flopping out of the plane, Fitz getting ready to just go after her, and then W coming from behind and just jumping out. We know what happened. It was wild and insane and so well done, but I remember personally thinking to myself at that point, like, oh my God, I love these people, like the team members, but also, oh my God, the acting in this show is so fucking good. And oh my God, I never thought about people dying. And hey, we made it through season 1 unscathed. We have all survived. Am I reliving that episode? So yeah, there's that one. Then I put the bridge and magical place, but then I just put it down to the magical place because I think that was the better of the 2 episodes. But I feel like they're kind of one episode in my mind. I don't even think they're a part 1 and 2, but to me they are. So I put the magical place because, okay, oh boy. See, I get so excited. I need to chill. But I remember when the Tahiti stuff was happening, like when it was being built up. It's a wonderful place. I remember thinking that like it was going to be a long-term thing and that we weren't really going to find out. This is what I was thinking, is that we weren't going to find much out about it until like the end. So the fact that we really got to know the whole Tahiti situation, or I guess what I assume is the whole Tahiti situation throughout the season, and especially that big reveal happening in the middle of the season, I remember thinking, holy shit, I really thought this was going to be like, I guess maybe not as important as it ended up being. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Because I just remember being like, oh shit, this is like episode 11. Like, okay, but then here's the thing. I need to put the rest of the episodes that come after that as well. No, I can't. But like, what a chunk of episodes. Because then I'm like re-looking at them like, but then we had Trax, Tahiti, Yes Men, and Tahiti. No, it was Trax was the one where like Skye gets shot. Is that the one where Ward kicks down the door? And then we have her in the tube thing, and the decision to Coulson's like, don't do it, and it was already done. Like, I have to pick certain episodes. I can't. Yes, I can. I can't. But of course, the next episode I put was Turn, Turn, Turn. We really did do a lot of turns there. God, I'm reliving it all, and it's like, how this was so fun. Yeah, honestly, the rest of the episodes. No, just kidding. Okay, turn. And then I put nothing personal. Shouts out Maria Hill, Miss Girl. Love you to pieces. Love you to bits. That was so fun for her to be there. And nothing personal. Oh, even just like, I think all of the last 3 episodes, but like nothing personal. Sky being off with Ward. Shield is fucking crumbling and dying, and Hydra's taking over. And like, that was so wild. The last 3 episodes, let's do the last 3 episodes, but specifically the finale. Like, I really feel like the finale ate everything up. The finale pulled everything together, I think, so perfectly. And like I mentioned earlier, it gave us these pieces of what's to come. The finale also gave me, I wrote this down because I was like, the finale gave me one of my favorite scenes I think I've seen in a TV show ever. I remember watching it, and like, so much was happening. So after, I don't even think I fully gave it its full credit. And editing after, I just sat there and watched it again. And it's like, anyone who's new here, sometimes I get really hung up on like certain moments or certain scenes. They just stick with me for like a multitude of reasons. And I just feel like I want to watch it again and just like talk, like go step by step. Do I have time to do that? Look, I've been talking a lot. You guys want to watch it with me? You know the scene. It's the scene underwater and the pulling up, but I like want to go through. I need to go through and just explain to someone why I love it so much. So I guess that has to be you. We're going to do it. You can skip ahead if you don't, because everyone's seen this scene, but it's so special to me. I think it's just one of the most well done trajectory of emotions and scenes that I've ever seen. And I feel like I can explain it better if we watch it together. So we're going to do that. It'll be fast. Okay. I have it. I found it. We're going to watch this together, and I'm just going to give my commentary on it. And I'm just going to walk you step by step as to why I'm obsessed with it. And very few scenes in the world have ever come close to it. I need you to just bear with me because I've been dying to talk about this scene with someone, and like, who? You. Okay, so we're underwater. We've got our 2 besties, Fitz and Simmons. They're underwater at the bottom of the fucking ocean. Previous scene, we've rolled through how they're basically just gonna die there. Okay? No hope is left. They shall just die down there. And then we get hope. We get this one little glimmer because they figure out how to blow the door. Okay? I'm setting the scene. You were all there. You know exactly what happened, but I don't care. I'm setting the scene. So emotionally, we're down. Then we get this little piece of hope. Okay, perfect. Awesome. We sort of expected that, right? Okay, so we start off the scene with both of them, Fitz and Simmons, in that hope. Or so we think, right? They're on the same page as us. Okay, we're going to blow this up. We're going to go. We're going to get to the top. We already talked about a whole new set of problems. Figure them out later. Okay? It's like we're all on the same page. And then that slight music change happens, and the faces change, and we instantly realize he's not going with her. He rigged it for one. There's only room for one. And she's the better swimmer, and he's injured, and I'm going to cry doing this. What am I doing? That instant hit of the way that he decided he wasn't going with, decided she's the one that needs to be saved anyway. And also knew that he couldn't tell her as the plan was being made because there's no way she was going to let that happen, is incredible. Let's watch that play out. I'm going to cry.
when I press that power button...
The window will blow in and water will rush inwards.
Yeah, which is going to be like 100 punches to the stomach. Okay? The wind's going to be knocked right out of us.
He's talking her through it, and we don't even know he's not going yet.
Very high pressure. Should force the breath into your lungs, but you have to hold on to it, okay? Hold on tight. Should be enough to get you up the 90 feet or so.
One breath, but there's two of us.
Yeah, I've done the math. That's why you're taking it. You're a better swimmer anyway.
No.
Gemma.
No, I'm not leaving you here. That's ridiculous. We need a new plan.
We're not discussing it, okay? You're taking it. End of story.
We need a new plan. And he knew she'd say that. Stay with me. Here we are, emotion-wise, okay? Going from hope to, oh my God, only one, to no, we can't do that, to there's literally no time. And we know what happens next. He knew that she was going to try and figure something else out. There was no way she was going without him. And so he just had to hit the button. and her scream. We're going to watch this play out. But her scream, the emotion attached to it, and how fast it all happens, we're not expecting it. And then they do the boom, cut to the silence of underwater. I'm sure I have to watch it on a TV. But when you have it in your headphones, it's so drastic and it's right there. It's like you're so in the moment and it happens and it just like it takes your breath away. It's almost like you're there underwater waiting. Cause like in your mind, you don't know what's gonna happen. It all happens so fast and your heart is racing. And I can't even express enough how that change in audio hits you. Like it literally took my breath away. And you're under the ocean and you're just in waiting. Like you don't know what to do.
I couldn't live if you didn't.
Well, I feel the same way. There has to be another way.
You're taking it.
Why would you make me do this? You're my best friend in the world.
Yeah, you're more than that, Gemma. I couldn't find the courage to tell you. So please. Let me show you.
All that hope, it's gone. Hope that we just had a minute ago.
It's okay. Gemma, we have to hurry up.
No.
Take it, Gemma.
No.
Take it.
No.
Take it, okay?
Okay. So remember where we left off? The cut in audio. It takes your breath away. And then we see her pulling him out. And we have this relief. And as she's pulling him up, it's like, obviously then that slight change in music comes in, right? Like and it goes, like the music kind of follows her up to the top and we see them going up. And then instantly it's almost again like, okay, we've regained that hope, like, oh my God. But then we realize we're going to be in the middle of the fucking ocean. We're going to be in the middle of the fucking ocean. No one's looking for us. No one's looking. And that whole set of problems, remember that whole set of problems we talked about before? Well, now they're real, right? So now we're there. I can't even tell you the hope meter in this scene, okay? The hope meter, right? So we're like, we can breathe again as the music starts again. And we see them going up. And then we're like, well, we're fucked anyway. But wow, what a moment. But we're still fucked. And then that slight music is going to change into my favorite music of all time. We're going to get some fucking superhero music. And we're going to look up. We're going to see Fury. Are you fucking kidding me? What is Fury doing here? And his hand reaching for hers. It is the cheesiest of moments. But do you remember where we were 25 seconds ago? See? Fear. We're fucked. We're completely fucked. I mean, that was awesome, but wow, we're so fucked. Wait for the music. Right here. Slow-mo hand grab, like, fuck off. Fuck off. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The way I've seen that scene like 6 times. And I'm not over it. I'll never get over it. Nothing will top that. I could talk about that scene for hours. Just like everything was perfect. The emotional buildup, the loss and gaining of hope, how it goes up and down, the music, the dialogue, the reveals, the slow-mo hand grab. Everything was so fucking perfect. The audio. Everything was so perfect about that. It lives rent-free in my head. That scene. There's never been a more perfect use of superhero music, in my opinion, than that fucking moment. Okay, thank you for listening. I really needed to talk about that with someone. It's so good. The acting, like, oh my God. The pacing of it, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. That was perfect. Okay, we will move on. I know people find superhero music so cheesy, not me. Like, I will eat it up each and every time you give it to me, especially if it's so perfectly placed like that. Nothing gets me more amped than a fucking good old-fashioned superhero build-up music. Okay, so those are my favorite episodes. Oh my God. Okay, we really gotta fucking roll through some predictions and get to this Q&A because god dang. Okay, so some of the predictions are like pretty obvious, just kind of like playing off of the little nuggets they gave us in the finale. But yeah, so I guess the most obvious one is like the rebuilding of S.H.I.E.L.D. Philly C, director Philly C. Gosh, that just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that? Because like, it's kind of a PR crisis too, isn't it? And so I do wonder if like Hydra is still going to be a part of next season. Like, we have to get them all out, right? And clean up and then rebuild. Also, what about all the prisoners that were let out? Like, do we think that's going to come into play? I feel like the rebuilding of S.H.I.E.L.D. that Coulson's going to do is going to align with the rebuilding of his relationship with May. Like, I feel like they're going to do it together. I don't know if that's just because I really see them as mom and dad, or if I don't know. I just feel like May's the right person to be there with him to do it. Like, I think they're going to kind of do it together. I have a prediction about Fitz because I mentioned this in the finale reaction, I'm pretty sure, where I was like, I really wanted to get amped up at the end there, that end scene, when they were all standing on the plane and the superhero music came in. But Fitz wasn't there, so it was like a little bit hard for me to, I was like, we're missing someone. And obviously we know he's alive. Thank goodness for them letting me know that before the end of the season, because goodness, ugh. But I feel like this season might be kind of like Fitz dealing with that, like a little bit of emotional kind of turmoil, almost dying, kind of like what Philly C went through in season 1. Not really though, because I don't think that they're going to inject Fitz with alien blood or alien whatever, but I guess you never know. But no, I don't think they would. But I think that that's going to be like a big emotional thing for him. I think we're going to see him struggling with that a little bit, struggling to like get better physically, but probably emotionally as well. And Fitzsimmons, this show is so funny because I kind of feel like everyone's in love with each other a little bit, like like Fitzsimmons, Sky and Grant, and even like Philly C and May. Like we really could just all date. Do I think Fitzsimmons are going to date? I do. I think I do. Whether or not it happens in season 2, though, because I think if Fitz is going through this emotionalness of like the almost dying and whatever else, I think it might be tough to start a relationship. But I think maybe end of season 2, but eventually. I do think eventually. I think eventually. Yeah, I do. Yeah. And then Trip. I wrote Trip because I hope Trip stays. He's one of us now, right? I've recruited him. He can stay. I'm so sorry that I had my guard up about you, Trip. But to be fair to me, I should have had my guard up, just not to you. But I like him. But then there's the him and Simmons thing. I don't really think I want a love triangle. I don't know. But I hope he just stays as like a member of the team. Because I want a new member. I always kind of thought it was gonna be Mike. Oh, Mike. Okay, and then do I want to talk about Ward or Sky's predictions first? Let's do Sky's because I feel like maybe it's a little bit easier. So Sky's parents, I kept thinking throughout that they were going to be superheroes. And now looking back, it makes so much more sense for them to be the opposite of that. But I remember thinking like throughout, like, oh, how cool would it be if they were superheroes and like, then she becomes a super, you know? Maybe that's a little bit less interesting than like her parents being monsters or villains, whatever you want to call them. They sounded very wet, didn't they? At the end there, when they like reached over to the picture, it sounded pretty wet. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I think this is better because to find out, like to be searching and then to find out that your parents are not who you think they are and go against everything that you stand for, I think that's so much more interesting. And because that would be so hard to grapple with. But I still see Sky like breaking, like, I guess breaking that cycle. Like, I think that maybe they could play with, and they've kind of teased it a little bit with like maybe some people are just born evil, like those kind of comments that were said in the finale. I think they could kind of grapple with like Sky's parents are evil, and so she's got that evil blood in her type thing, right? And that's going to be why the side effects for the alien stuff aren't affecting her, and we didn't have to do the memory thing, right? But I think she's going to fight it, and maybe she has like something cool. Like, remember when she went in that thing? I thought she was going to get powers. Villains can have powers. And so if she has some sort of like cool power, I think it would be cool to kind of play with that, but then obviously have her be good. They're breaking the cycles, but it's going to be rough for her to find out. Yeah, like exactly. I guess I don't even know exactly what they are. I'm judging them. I'm judging them based on pieces I put together about the alien thing and the monster thing and the fact that they sound wet. So I think obviously this guy's parents thing is going to be a bit more prominent this season. But yeah, I think Sky's gonna, she's one of us. Like, she's not, I said that about Ward, but like, she's not gonna, I don't think she's gonna go down the route of being the villain. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about fucking Ward. Jesus, this man. He's so frustrating. Okay, no, because let's talk about my prediction for the Ward redemption arc. Because at the end of that finale, I did not think, oh, this is the last time we'll be seeing Grant Ward. I think also because they said that they were going to like hold him and torture him. It's so fun. Let's do that. But mostly I think because of the very obvious little seeds they planted in regards to a redemption arc for him. The dog thing, the Fitzsimmons thing, like just putting them in the water, but also just the questioning that he had for Garrett at the end when Garrett went like full Terminator and everything, you know, and he was like saying things like, we're not true believers, right? And I think some things clicked for him in that discussion with Sky in the booth when she straight up said, you're a fucking Nazi. She didn't say fucking, but I feel the need to add it in. And he kind of was like, no. And she's like, yeah, Hydra. Ugh. I think that something like kind of clicked for him in the finale, seeing him kind of be like, we're not like true believers, right? Like, this is something different. And then, but then also seeing just how deep it goes, like he needs direction. He needs orders. He follows orders. But he also doesn't. He follows orders, like taking out Fitzsimmons, but then not really taking them out, right? So like we've been given the very clear signs of a redemption arc happening. Here's where I get caught up. Please keep in mind, these are just my thoughts, and I don't know where it's going, and I will always watch with an open mind. I think what keeps catching me up is the Nazi thing. It's the Nazi thing. It really is, because I love a good double agent. I also love a good moment of like a good guy character turning bad. I eat it up. It's so fucking fun. I love it. Yes, turn someone evil. Turn someone on the other side. I'll even cheer for it. I love cheering for bad guys, but not Nazis, because it's so real life. It's literally real life. And I think that's where I struggle. And I think maybe they were trying to like disengage me from that. That's not the word I'm looking for, but whatever. Distance me from that maybe a little bit with the like, we're not true believers, right? And like, I understand that Ward was groomed, that Ward was taken advantage of when he was had a very troubled family life. He needed some sort of adult guidance in his life. And that's exactly how people like that take advantage of younger people, right? He was only 17, and I don't know how old he is now, but it's been many years of that grooming and that building him. So I understand it fully. I get it. I just struggle with the Nazi thing. That's it. I thought it was really interesting to see how Ward got caught up in this versus how Mike did, because we saw Mike never wanting to be that. We saw Mike hating it. If he could have fucking walked away and said, fuck you, Nazi, he would have at any moment. He stayed for his family, for his son's safety, and because he had no choice, he would have got blown up. There is that. So it makes sense that we feel differently about Mike than we do about Grant. And so I am just very interested to see how they do this redemption arc. Because I understand that all the pieces are there. He was a child, he was taken advantage, he was groomed, all of the things. It's just really hard for me with the Nazi. I wish he wasn't a Nazi. I wish it was just like bad guys that have no real life correlation. Does that make sense? That's where I struggle. And again, I do feel like maybe they gave a good enough job of telling us that Ward didn't really know what he was committing to, right? And I think that plays back into that conversation with Sky and the like, we're not real believers thing. I just worry it's too touchy. I don't know. I worry about it. And I'm open-minded to see where it goes, because I do feel like he's going to be redeemed. I do think that. And I also have another thought about it. I put in all caps that maybe Kate, remember how I don't remember when in the season, but I felt like he was going to double agent the double agent. I felt like he was going to end up being like Team Shield and then flip on Garrett. And that didn't happen. But now could it? Not with the flipping on Garrett, because he's dead. I'm almost certain of it. But if we still have to figure out people who are Hydra, right? If Hydra is still this lingering thing, because just because we killed Garrett doesn't mean we've killed all of Hydra, right? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Anyway, my thought was, if we need to Uno reverse card, couldn't we use him? Could he redeem that way? If we need to infiltrate Hydra, we need to do it with one of us. And isn't Ward right there on a platter for us to do that? But we don't trust him because he is Hydra. But do you know how I feel like that could almost work? Maybe not. Because I was like, what are we going to use him for? And then I was like, maybe double agenting the double agentness of all of it. Like he now works for us, but we don't trust him. I don't know, but I think it's going to be very interesting. I am sat for the redemption of Grant Ward. I would also very much like to see some moments with him and Fitz, so the Fitz can ream him out a little bit. But I do think at the end of the day, he will be redeemed and be on our team again. And maybe we can use him in that way. But I just feel like infiltrating Hydra back would take a lot of trust. Or maybe he said, maybe he's like, that's how he regains trust. That could be fun. Because if he kills a bunch of Nazis, I will still say that I love the Ward arc. As much as I was betrayed and hurt and surprised at that point, it was really awesome, wasn't it? And like seeing each of the team members just like let him have it, especially Sky. That's my fucking girl. Yeah. Anyway, okay. That's my thought. I have to stop talking. We have to do a Q&A. And I'm still fucking talking about season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay. We're going to do Q&A. All right. Ooh, okay. I'm so excited. Okay. So first one. Sorry. First thing that popped into my head was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But that's more of an interview question, not a question about a superhero TV show. That's because I said, please keep this to season 1 or just general show questions. I just meant don't give away anything in future seasons. That's what I meant by that. But now I have to answer it. Okay, where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, I don't know. Oh no, you fed my ADHD. That's what you did with that question, because now I'm like, where do I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Actually, I do. I'll be editing. But you know what I mean? Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll still be watching TV shows with y'all. That's a long time away, though. But, I mean, as long as you'll have me, I'll keep doing it. Oh, and then there's a reply to that one that says, maybe, where do you see these characters in 5 years? Oh, 5 years. Let's just do seasons. Let's do 5 seasons. Okay. Fitz and Simmons are together. I was going to say maybe Phil and May will actually date, but I still don't know because they are kind of like the leaders. Maybe they won't. But Philly C will have rebuilt his team, and oh my God, I don't know. That's hard. It's so hard. It's like one thing I know is for sure. Fitz and Simmons, right? They're gonna make it. Maybe we shouldn't date within the team. Anyway, I also think that Sky is like really gonna work her way up. I think she's gonna become like a pretty important person. Like maybe not director, but like maybe like what was Coulson before he was director, you know? Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Who is your favorite character? Oh my God, you spelled favorite with a U. Are you Canadian or from overseas? Anyway, I love seeing that. Okay, who's your favorite character? All of them. I was just gonna pick two, and then I instantly started thinking of the other ones. I'm like, I can't do it. This is so wild because I feel like every other show I've watched, I have very specific favorite characters. And like with this show, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite character. It's May. It's May and Fitz and Coulson and Simmons and Sky and Mike Peterson. There we go. What kind of old school gadgets would you have liked to see Trip or Philly C use? Anything. I thought that like little side note old school gadgets thing was so fun, and how it fit so nicely with Fitz holding that whatever and then Ward just thinking he was like a toy. Like that's so smart to just have as a thing. I'm a big fan of like I don't even know what it's called, but like where you like the one that like Batman always uses where you like throw and it hooks onto something and then you like use it to pull yourself up. Love that. But I also love anything that's hidden in something, like makeup ones. I love those. And we had one of those. The makeup compact that Sky had when she was with the Wish Jake Gyllenhaal guy. We had that as like a current one, but I love anything that's like that. Anything that's like a normal spy gadget that isn't a pen, because pens are pretty obvious, but like, you know, that kind of shit. Okay, what direction do you think the show will take for Ward's character moving forward if you think he's still in the show? Yeah, so I kind of talked about this. If I had to like make a decision in this moment, I'm going to say he's going to get a redemption arc. I just don't know how it's going to go. And I hope... Okay, but you know what? The more I sit with it, the more I think it could be really interesting. It's just, I just hope, here's where, okay, obviously I get caught up on the Nazi thing, but the other thing is I hope it's not fast. There's a lot of stuff that goes into what happened with Ward, and it's not just his relationships with the team, but it's his relationships with himself, right? Like we saw even someone said, I feel like you have to figure out who you are without him, like without Garrett, and the needing of directions. He has not had a chance to be his own person. Like 17, that's how old he was, right? Like he was definitely a minor when he was recruited by fucking Garrett. And that is such a young age. And we already saw that leading up to that point, he was troubled. He had a troubled childhood, but he's always had this piece of, I call it his softiness, right? And that, I understand that that's what's going to pull him. That's what's going to pull him into the redemption. But I just hope it's not done as like I'm sorry, I want to see him rebuild himself. I want to see it done well. I don't want this like character kind of just like put back onto the team. Not that I think that they'll just like put him back, but do you know what I mean? Like I really hope that there's thought put into everything that went into Ward's life up to this point, and that we work backwards and we actually get to see him figuring this stuff out. I think that would pull me in. You know, like I don't want 3 episodes later Grant Ward is infiltrating Hydra for us. Like maybe I do want that, but I don't want like 3 episodes later he's fighting alongside us. You know what I mean? And I don't think that the show would do that, but it's happened before. Okay. Which Shield Academy would you get into? Oh, that's such a cool question. I don't really think I know all of them. Maybe I do. I guess my degree is in biochemistry. So I'm a biochem girly. So I guess that would put me in the Academy of Science and Technology, right? That's what it's called. That's probably where I would make most sense, I guess. But if I'm being a character that isn't me, I am terrified of flying. I don't like planes. They freak me out. I don't want to be that high up in the air. I do it all the time anyway, but I don't like it. So if I was a character, I would want to be a pilot like May, because then I could conquer my fear and look fucking cool and wear the cool sunglasses. That's what I would want to do, but where I would probably be in the science one, doing some biochemistry shit. All right. Is there any side character from season 1 that you'd like to see come back into the story? Yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about, I don't even know where I put it, but the 13 Reasons Why guy, remember him with the ice? Was it ice? I think it was ice. And for some reason, that last shot of him, I thought we were going to see him again. I thought we were going to see him in like finale and he was going to play into this somehow. And I was like, so where's he? Yeah, him. I'm just going to say him, the 13 Reasons Why guy. I think he was Iceman. I think he was the freeze guy. That would be cool to like somehow bring him back into the story because of the way he was set up. You know, being at the academy, speaking of, and yeah. Can't really think of any other, because like a girly with the flower dress, we know we're going to see her again because of the end of the season. Mike, obviously, do I even consider him a side character anymore? Not really. Mike, I would love to see forever and always, but I really don't know what's going to happen with Mike. I think I would just pick that freeze kid. What are your biggest questions left after the season 1 finale? I think the only big question is Ward. That man occupies way too much fucking space in my mind. And how do we rebuild S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because it is so much more than just like, because remember, see, I feel like this show, fuck me, am I going to start blabbing about this fucking show again? But I think that it does this cool thing where it adds these little layers of things that become important. And I always think back to that radio. Remember when Fred was here and that demon guy was like coming for her, and how they just subtly had the radio playing in that one scene, and how the radio was talking about like just how the public's view of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I thought that was so interesting because it was like, what, 12 seconds? But it really made me think like, oh, we're fucked. And like, yeah, so like we've completely lost public perception. So I think things like that are really cool because then when I think about the rebuilding, it becomes such a bigger thing. It's not just putting our team back together. We have a whole PR issue, babe. Like, okay, we need to hire a Tree Paine. That's a niche joke. I am so sorry. But yeah, so those would be my questions. And is Fitz going to be okay? He's not. Physically, he's fine. Now, maybe not fine, but physically he's okay. Mentally, he's probably not. Okay. I remember watching the first season, and the episode that really hooked me and made this show a must-watch was 1/6, where Gemma gets infected by the alien virus and she thinks she'll die and she jumps out of the plane. I would like to say she flops out of the plane. I'm just kidding. Do you remember when the show hooked you? It was probably the same. It was probably the same episode, I think. But if we're going to use a fishing analogy, maybe 6 was where I was already hooked, but I was just brought into the boat. You know, like I was already on the line. I was hooked. So 6 was just where they plopped me into the boat. Does that make sense? Because I feel like that was like that episode blew my mind, but I think by that point I was already so invested in them all. Like I think by when that was happening, I think I was already probably pretty hooked. So maybe it wasn't a specific episode. I think it was just how well the characters were built to me. I think they really did it perfectly. Like the pilot introducing us to everyone and giving us very clearly all of our teams. I don't want to say weaknesses, but like you could see very clearly where everyone was going, right? Like May being like, I don't want to be in the field. I'm just going to drive the plane type shit. We knew she was going to get back in the field. Ward being the lone wolf, Skye being like the outsider kind of spy girl. Like, so you could very clearly see where each character needed to go. And then having literally the next episode, everyone working together. I don't think it was an episode. I think it was just the way it was. But 6 definitely was the moment where they hauled me into the boat. Okay. Which were your favorite episodes? Oh, you wrote favorite with a U too. Shouts out. All of them. No, I went through them and again, I could add more to the list. I get very excited thinking about favorite episodes because not to go back to the everybody saying you just have to get through season 1-ness of it, but like if we're only up from here, then like I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna make it through actually. I'm gonna need to get a fucking machine here for the following seasons. All right, where do you think the writers are going with Skye's storyline and her parents and her past? Touched on this a little bit too. Yeah, I think that obviously her parents are wet monsters and she's going to figure that out. And that I think that's going to like devastate her, but she's not. She's not a monster. She's a superhero in my books. Okay, Clint Barton, Hawkeye versus Grant Ward. Black Widow versus Melinda May. Who wins? Oh, Hawkeye. But the second one, wait, like how? What are the stipulations here? I need more information. Are we just talking hand to hand combat? No gadgets? My gut instinct was to say Black Widow, but then I like kind of started walking through some of May's fights throughout the season, and I was like, but I don't think it would be a blowout. And if we're just going hand to hand, oh my God. Why did you ask me this? Oh, this is going to consume me. Oh, fun. Ooh, fun. Something for me to spiral about while I'm cooking dinner. For now, I'm going to say I love me some Melinda May, but I do think I can't even say it. No, I do think Black Widow just. It's a good fight though. Can it happen? That would never happen. But to be fair to Ward, to go back to that one, I know I said Hawkeye pretty quickly. I also think Ward is a good fighter and a good agent, and I think he would put up a good fight as well. What a good question. Oh my God, I can't stop thinking about it now. I want to change my mind. I want to say May. I don't know. Okay. Which character are you most excited to see more of? Like their background, their character growth, direction. I think all of them. No. Okay. I think both Fitz and Simmons are going to have an interesting season, like growth-wise. I think that they were put through a lot in season 1. And I think with where we ended and that whole underwater scene, which we were there, we went through that. I think I think that's like a big turning point for both of them. So I can't wait to see. I think I'm most excited to see those two next season. I feel like I can almost see where everyone else is headed, right? Like very clear, like if the Phillies, he's a fucking director. He's rebuilding. He's Mr. fucking handyman now. He's got some shit to do. Sky and her parents and Ward and the redemption. And I feel like you can kind of clearly see those, but like I'm like, give me some Fitzsimmons. So excited for that. Okay, best bromance potential for bromance. Bro is gender neutral. So like best duo kind of thing. Is it weird that I want to say Coulson and Simmons? I really love them together. It's less of a bromance though. Like it's definitely more of like a father-daughter type thing. But they play so well off of each other. So like anytime they're together, I already said that I like it. But I think maybe if we're going like bromanciness, maybe Sky and Gemma. Or even like Sky and Fitz. I would have said Fitz and Ward, but okay. And now that S.H.I.E.L.D. is disbanded and Coulson is director, how do you think the team and S.H.I.E.L.D. as a whole will change? That's such a well-worded question because I guess I didn't think of change because of course it is going to be different. You know what? I think about Coulson at the beginning of the season. Remember how by the books kind of guy he was and like following orders kind of guy, and how we slowly saw that start to change based on him finding out his experiences and like just, you know, how that slowly changed. I think that the new S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be a lot more the way that he thought it was versus how it was. Does that make sense? I think it's going to be Coulson's version. And I think this season we saw him figuring out the holes in the system, the holes that he doesn't like. And I think the way he's going to rebuild is going to be a lot more aligned with his morals. Can it be? I would hope it could be, but can it be? Can you build a system like that? You know, because systems are built a specific way. Like I want it. That's such a good question. Yeah, I want to say that it's going to be a bit more Coulson's vision of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's going to be different. I also just think aftermath of Ward's kind of betrayal is going to linger. I think it's going to be, the team is going to like, they're going to have trust issues. Like the way I had trust issues at the beginning. When Garrett and Tripp came on and I was like, they're up to something. To be fair, Tripp wasn't. Bless his soul. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of... Honestly, I think it'll make them closer together, though. Like, not Ward, he's over here, but like the other ones, right? Because of what they've been through together. And I already thought they were like fam jam. Okay, holy shit. I need to stop talking about this show. That's all the questions. We got them all. Wow, though. Like, what a ride. This is going to come as a surprise to absolutely fucking zero of you, but I love this show. Like, I really do. I get so fucking excited for Saturdays. Even just like the universe, like going through the movies and stuff is really fun. The MCU still feels so big and overwhelming to me. And I won't say I'm an MCU girly yet, but I am an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. girly. Like, I so am. I really will probably binge season 1 of this even before getting to season 2 because I really like it here. I like it here. It feels like a show that is just up my alley. Like, it's everything I love in a show. And I have had a lot of fun, especially like on Patreon and stuff, watching shows that I would have never really gone to or a little bit out of my wheelhouse, because that's always fun. That's fun to visit. This is like very specifically in my wheelhouse and I love it. I just love it so much. I I think it's so fun. I think it's funny. We blow shit up. We kick down doors. We have awesome characters. We got cool gadgets. We got sciencey stuff. Like, I am eating every single episode. So the fact that people say it only gets better from here, I'm so fucking sad. I'm so sad. So anyway, all that to say, thank you for being along on this journey with me. It's been the funnest of times. And I can't wait to see what we get up to next. Like, I feel like I still have so much more I want to say about this. Like, I think I could talk about this show forever, actually. And you can't let me. We have to wrap this up. So thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you more than you could ever know. And I will see you in season 2. Bye.